isn't just the White House and the Senate that's up for grabs. So is the House of Representatives. 435 members of Congress will be elected or re-elected tonight. Right now, that chamber has a very narrow Republican majority. The Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, joins us from his campaign headquarters. Good evening, sir. And you have sort of an unusual situation. You're running for re-election. You're head of the House of Representatives. And of course, you're watching the White House race. Can you tell me what you're going to do this evening?
Well, I've finally gotten back to Louisiana. I've been traveling the country nonstop, Greta. They told me today when we landed that I completed campaign events in over 260 cities across 40 states. I traveled the equivalent of circling the globe 5.5 times in the last year. That's how many places we went, because we had to go to all the districts to make sure that not only our incumbents are reelected, but also our extraordinary challengers that we recruited to flip some of these blue seats to red. I feel very good about that. I've landed back in Louisiana. We have a big campaign party tonight, and then I'm going to fly to Mar-a-Lago and be with President Trump is the tentative plan. Assuming all this works out, we get down there and we have multiple celebrations tonight. So we're very bullish about the outcome.
Hey, Congressman Carl Higbee here. One of the things that happened when Donald Trump first took office in 2016 is we had, Republicans had the House, and they didn't put bills on his desk right away. Are you guys prepared in the House as Republicans to have bills ready for him to sign, or at least to go to the Senate, God willing you guys take that, and send it over to his desk to be signed so they're not dillying and dallying for the next 2 years?
Yeah, great question. So I came into Congress at the same time President Trump did in January 2017. I was a freshman in Congress. The 115th Congress, we began in earnest. We had unified government. We achieved the Republican White House with President Trump. We had the Senate and the House, so unified government. And I ran in as a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed freshman ready to do the work and realized that we didn't actually have the game plan prepared because no one actually thought that President Trump was going to win. The people in charge thought that Hillary was going to win, remember? So we wasted, in hindsight, really we did. We wasted 2.5 or 3 months of the 115th Congress. And I walked around like a freshman kicking the can down the road around Washington. I said, doggone it, if I ever have anything to say about it, we're not going to get caught flat-footed again. Well, I had no idea I'd be Speaker of the House 7.5 years later. So we've been preparing for a year now. Very methodically. We didn't put the cart before the horse, but we anticipated we might well have a win, the trifecta tonight, the White House, the Senate, and the House. And if so, as I've told President Trump so many times, I genuinely believe that he could be the most consequential president of the modern era, and our Congress by extension, because we have to fix everything. But to do that, you got to have, let me use my football metaphor, a well-designed playbook that's carefully prepared, and then you got to be able to execute the plays with precision beginning on day one. We have to deliver for the American people. So we've been working very methodically. I got a 2-hour slideshow I can show you on this, but the point is the Senate and House Republicans working together for a year to design that playbook. When the head coach, in my metaphor, is elected, President Trump, and when they hand us the football in January, I'll go sit down with him. We'll sit down and we'll lay out that playbook together. He knows about it, of course, and we'll determine which plays to call, and we'll come right out of the gates. We got to deliver from the American people. It'll be a very aggressive first 100 days agenda.
Sounds like a plan, Mr. Speaker.
I lose count sometimes of the numbers of how many of in the majority, because sometimes people get sick or sometimes people are retired. What right now tonight is the margin that you have of Republicans over Democrats, and then what do you expect it to be 24 hours from now?
Oh, I've got an embarrassment of riches now, Greta. I have a 3-vote margin. For about 4 months, I had just one. We had the smallest majority in U.S. history, and I've lamented that to you, over the last year. But it was not a difficult, it's not an easy thing. It was a difficult path because, we only had control of 1/2 of 1/3 of the federal government. Progressive leftists running the White House and the Senate with Chuck Schumer. So that job is going to get a lot easier because I truly believe that we're going to grow that House majority tonight, that we're going to elect some of these extraordinary challengers that we recruited in these seats that are the swing districts and the toss-up seats, and we'll grow that majority. I don't yet know the number, but I'm very optimistic that we are going to have a larger number, and I'm convinced we're going to win the Senate and that Donald J. Trump is going back to the White House. So it'll be a different day beginning January, and I'm excited about the days ahead and the prospect of us turning this whole thing around.